loves, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Joy, and I'm sure you saw the title of this. This just came out. Apparently, someone who was on the gun range with the shooter, the Trump shooter, just a day before, who knew him, gives insight into what he thinks happened and what is going on, and spills all the information he knows about the shooter, Thomas. And I'm going to go ahead and dive in. I have a little interview I want to play for you from The Sun. It is interesting. And guys, if you like content like this, make sure and subscribe, hit that notification bell so I can keep you updated. Also, give me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. As you're watching this with me, sound off in the comments. Tell me, do you guys see things I don't? Tell me what you observe. As well, give me a like. Everything helps. So, okay, let's go ahead and let's dive. So this is titled, I was on gun range with Trump shooter the day before it happened. I think I know what triggered him. So let's take a listen.
Yeah, I got a phone call while I was driving. I said, who is it? And they said, this is the field office for the Pittsburgh FBI. And I'm, okay, hello. How can I help you? And they said, well, you had taken a class at the Keystone Shooting Center, and the person that you were in the class with was the person that had shot Donald Trump.
And so this says on June 22nd, U.S. Air Force veteran Bill Jenkins, 62, took a gun lesson with the soon-to-be Donald Trump shooter Thomas Crooks. The pair had signed up for handgun training at the Keystone Shooting Center in Cranberry, Pennsylvania.
When I went for the class, I was surprised that the class was only one other person and me. He was quite young, very quiet, seemed friendly, nice kid. So we went into the range and each took our booths. We were right next to each other, and he had already was loaded and firing before I had gotten my gun even loaded. So I was kind of surprised at that, you know. And so I figured he was experienced, and he ended up doing better than me because on the further distances, he had shot one area so many times that it blew out a hole in the target. Towards the end of the classroom discussion, you know, when we really kind of ran out of training stuff to talk about, we started talking about other things, and eventually I got into politics. He wasn't saying anything. He remained quiet, so I was kind of, you know, waiting to see what this guy would do because it was getting a little tense there, and he never said a word. He just sat there, kind of smiled, looked, and didn't say anything. So I was surprised at that, you know, not knowing what was going to happen, you know, in the future. But even then, I was kind of like, you know, how come this guy isn't saying anything, yay or nay? You know? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't even have a conversation for the first 10 seconds because I was just stunned. So they asked me a few questions, you know, I told them what I knew, and you know, they asked me if he had said anything unusual or did anything unusual, what he had with him and stuff like that.
It says in Crooks' failed assassination attempt, Corey Comparator, 50, died shielding his family from the hail of bullets.
The family lost their father, a wife lost her husband. You know, he was trying to protect his family. So, you know, this person not only wanted to assassinate Donald Trump, he didn't care who else he hurt along the way. The chills thinking about who I was sitting next to. And if he was that deranged, who knows what he would have done inside the range if he felt like it, you know. He could have shot us. So, you know, it was disturbing, to say the least. Well, I think it would have been a complete disaster. I mean, if that would have been successful, that would have thrown the entire election into chaos, thrown the country into chaos. Who knows what it would have ignited.
And guys, I want to also pull up this article as well because it gives even more information on this. This is from The Sun, and it says, Trump's shooter practice. Crack shot. I sat next to evil Donald Trump shooter as he honed his dead-eye gun skills on shooting range days before the attack. Crooks 20 came within inches of killing former President Trump with an AR rifle at a political rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th. It says the gunman who came within inches of assassinating Donald Trump honed his shooting skills on a range just days before the attack. And in a world-exclusive interview, a classmate from the session says he fears Thomas Crooks may have been pushed over the edge, listening to the right-wing instructor rant about how Trump was the best man for the White House. So this is interesting because I feel like I don't know that came across in what we saw before, which is why I like to also not just pull up the video because sometimes things are edited or cut out. I also like to pull up the article. So they're saying that this guy thinks that it has to do with his instructor, but I got some other theories, but we'll just keep looking to see what this looks like. And it says, Bill Jenkins, who has spoken to the FBI, told The Sun on Sunday, I was sitting next to evil. I haven't been able to sleep thinking about it. Crooks, who brought his own 9mm handgun, was such a crack shot on the elite training course that he blew a large hole in a shooting target with a volley of precision rounds. U.S. Air Force veteran Bill, 62, revealed he had been questioned by the FBI about Crooks days after the assassination attempt. Agents from the FBI's Pittsburgh field office contacted him on Tuesday as they tried to piece together the shooter's background and any possible motive. It says Crooks 20 came within inches of killing former President Trump with an AR rifle at a political rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th. He had crawled on his belly along the roof of a warehouse and took aim as Trump spoke on the podium in front of thousands of supporters. Trump, 78, was clipped in the ear by one of the bullets, but later said it was a miracle he was still alive after the attempt on his life, which left one rally attendee dead and 2 critically injured. Secret Service snipers killed Crooks, and a major security review is now underway. Computer programmer Bill, who lives in Pennsylvania, said he has struggled to sleep since discovering that he had met the shooter. He said, this guy killed a man with a wife and kids and almost plunged this country into chaos by killing Donald Trump. That could have been the beginning of some civil war, honestly. Bill and Crooks had signed up to do the Intermediate Handgun Pistol 2 class at Keystone Shooting Range Center in Cranberry, listen to this, Pennsylvania, on June 22nd. June 22nd, keep that in mind. The range is a 50-minute drive from Crooks' home in Bethel Park. Keystone's website says the course is the next level of handgun training to teach students to improve accuracy and distance through stance, grip, and follow-through. It added the course will also teach you how to prioritize multiple targets for maximum efficiency. Read it again. It added the course will also teach you how to prioritize multiple targets for maximum efficiency. Remember all these things. Recalling meeting Crooks, Bill said it was just him, me, and the instructor. The course went on for 3 hours, and I could see this kid was confident with guns. We went to the range. He started shooting straight away. It seemed like he had experience with weapons. Bill said Crooks, dressed casually in jeans and a shirt, brought his own weapon, which he believed was a 9mm handgun, to the class. He described long-haired and bespectacled Crooks as quiet but seemingly a nice kid. Bill recalled, he had a bag with him, we did some classroom stuff, and then we got on the range. I noticed on his target at 10 yards, he blew a big hole right through the centerpiece. I congratulated him on how good he'd done, and he just laughed. The instructor then took them back to the classroom, and Bill recalled how the conversation veered into politics. He said, it turns out the instructor and I are Trump supporters. We talked about how our country was good under Trump. That is all true, in my opinion. Not even my opinion, factually. Just look at what happened. Our borders were secure, the economy was strong, we were energy independent, and he got things done. I noticed at the time that the kid wasn't saying anything one way or the other, but I could see him smirking. He had a little smile. Looking back, I think he was biting his tongue. Nothing we discussed will have sat well with him. It crossed my mind. Did that conversation help push him over the edge? It freaks me out a little bit because a person has died. I was sitting next to real evil there. It really scares me. It has emerged Crooks was a member of a local gun club in Bethel Park, and more than a dozen guns were found at the family home. Crooks, a loner with a few friends who was bullied in high school, worked as a dietary aide at a nursing facility. He was registered Republican, but had once made a $15 donation to Democratic political organizations. The introvert computer whiz had just earned a spot on the college engineering program. A review of Crooks' phone by the FBI found he had searched images of President Joe Biden, Trump, and other famous figures, including the Princess of Wales, Catherine, in the days before the shooting. He had also looked up major depressive order on his phone, but did not seem to sign up to any extreme political views online. More than a week after the event that had shocked the world, very little else is known as to what motivated Crooks to try to assassinate Trump. He gave very little away during his 3 hours with Bill, who said at one point he mentioned his dad and guns in a gun club in my area. But that was about it. Incredibly, Bill admits he did not at first realize the man who had shot Trump was the very same one he trained alongside. He said, "It was only when the Pittsburgh field office of the FBI called me on Tuesday while I was driving and asked me about the class at Keystone that I found out. The guy said the other person in the class with you was the assailant who shot Trump, and I just flipped. Once I looked at the pictures, I could see it was him. The FBI asked me if he had a bag with him, which he did. He could have shot us at the range. He was very quiet. He didn't engage with us. He wasn't interested in contributing to many of the conversations, which was really odd. He tried to plunge the country into chaos. Maybe that was that's what his motive was. He wanted to start a real catastrophe in this country." And then it says, Keystone shooting range was contacted for comment. The FBI declined to comment. I have a lot to say on this. So he signed up for this class June 22nd. And the shooting happened on July 13th. We now know he had more than one phone, and apparently he was using encrypted services, like 3 different types, overseas. When he was there, he had a bulletproof vest and he had things on him, like he came with a car and the bike, that would suggest that he thought he was getting away. And now we're hearing, and there's video of what looks like a major FBI official at the event filming things in a real weird way. On top of that, we know that this kid was in a commercial for BlackRock that BlackRock now has since pulled since it's come out, and BlackRock made money off of this situation miraculously right before making some trading moves, allegedly. I'm going to throw some things out there. This is all alleged for entertainment purposes only, just my opinion. What we're hearing here, first of all, this guy says that, they talked about Trump. This is what's really telling. And he just sat there and smirked. We know he used to, his family's Republican. He somewhat leans Republican from what we understand, but he didn't say anything either way. He just kind of smirked. When he did so well at shooting, he laughed. I'm wondering, did someone encourage him and pay for him to go to these classes? At this point, did he know what he was doing? And my question is, was he hired by somebody to do all of this, and the plan was you're supposed to get away, but instead he was a patsy? It's hard for me on that one because he seems like a smart kid from what we know, but guys, book smarts doesn't mean real world intelligence. The most book smart people I know have the most chaotic, ridiculous, or difficult lives. Doesn't mean real world success. And this guy, I do feel bad for him because I think anybody who came across this, it's human nature to look at a situation and go, where is my responsibility in this? It's something we naturally do. And a lot of times when something this horrific happens, we want to assign blame. If we can't understand it, we'll assign blame to ourselves. So like for him saying, was this what pushed him over the edge? Just saying that things were better with Trump shouldn't have pushed somebody over the edge. And if they did, it's not the responsibility of anybody but the person who was doing the shooting. It makes you a decent person for wanting to question yourself and say, could I have done something better? But the answer is no. More than that, I'm wondering now, and I've been wondering this more and more like a lot of you, but I've been waiting for the info to come out. My gut tells me this is orchestrated on bigger levels and he was working with bigger people, especially now that we can't figure out any footprint on him online. He's working with 3 overseas encrypted services, has at least 2 different cell phones he brought, and looked like he was trying to get away. I kind of wonder if this guy, and then when he said we talked about it, he just sat there and smirked. He just smirked, biting his tongue. I don't know if he was biting his tongue. I think he just knew what he was about to do. And my question is, and I'm going to say this again, at this point, did it really matter what the political motivations are? I don't know that it mattered to him, other than I wonder if some big place approached him and said, you want to look like a hero? And we'll get you out of here. We'll get you the life you want. I'm now wondering more and more if we didn't have a situation like that. I'm not saying that's the case, but I am saying this interview to me shed a lot more light. He took these classes on June 22nd. He was already proficient. He brought the stuff with him. Things just don't smell right to me. I don't know. Am I just crazy conspiracy theorist? What do you guys think about my assessment? Did you hear and see things that I'm not? Tell me what you think, guys. Sound off in the comments. Also, if you like this video, make sure and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Love to have you here. Also, leave me a like, guys, because everything helps me spread these messages. And remember, no matter what's happening, guys, no matter how dark things look, it's because things are about to get really good. Trump is dropping hints. If you listen to his RNC speech, he talked about space-age technologies that can get rid of cancer and dementia. These are the same technologies or similar to what I'm working with that I know Trump backs, that I will be talking about when I can, to get rid of my own cancer and my own health issues. The dark doesn't want stuff like that for us. They don't want that because then we can't be slaves. And if we're not slaves, we can't be controlled. And my goal on this channel, we're going to empower each and every one of us. And we're going to empower ourselves to go through those dark things that we're going through, whether it's chronic illness, emotional issues, divorces, family problems, no matter what it is. We're going to get through them and we're going to become better and stronger. And we're going to make this world a better place. Just remember, when the dark is fighting this hard, it's because the light is winning and amazing, wonderful, beautiful, miraculous things are right around the horizon. And I'm living proof of that. All right, guys, until the next video, as always, I'm giving y'all hugs, kisses. I love you guys. Stay safe, and I will see you soon. Bye.